What is going on, everyone? It is Tyler McKinney back here again, and today we're going to go and we're going to look at the XFL. We are on the eve of the supplemental draft. We are the night before the supplemental draft, and so we just got a few things that I want to go over. If it's your first time here, hey, I'm glad to have you. If you're a return viewer, thanks for coming back and thanks for watching more videos. And if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. All right, let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and let's get into the content for today. So the first thing I want to do is I want to clarify something. So it came out today that, first, we looked at the mini camps, right? And I said, we talked about the training camps, and all the training camps are going to be in Houston. And I'll put a card, I don't know, somewhere up there. And the link back to the video where I went over all the different locations where all of the training camps that are happening in January are going to be in Houston, all the locations for all the different teams. Now, let's refer to the mini camps. So they're going to be having about a 10-day or so mini camp that's going to be happening in December, right after the holiday is over. So right after Thanksgiving's over, they're all going to report to their home sites. Well, we found out that actually LA is not, the Wildcats are not going to be reporting to LA. They're actually going to be in Las Vegas. So that's pretty cool that that LA is actually going to be out in Las Vegas and opening up another market for the XFL. So the XFL is going to go ahead and they're going to be in Las Vegas for a little bit, and I think that'll be pretty cool. But they're going to have their mini camp there. So that was our first bit of news that came out today. Another little bit of news, if you're paying attention and if you watch my previous videos, you know that Pat McAfee is going to be an on-the-field analyst for ESPN. He's going to have unprecedented access to whatever's going on the field. I really think that what he is going to do with the broadcasting team is going to revolutionize the way that we see football covered from this day forward. That's right, you heard it here first. I believe that he's going to have that big of an impact. He's already had a huge impact already on the sports kind of broadcasting world, and I think he's going to make an even bigger impact with that. And I kind of explain it in another video. And you know what? Hey, let's throw another card out there. So we'll have another card up there for you guys that you can click on and watch that video that I do with that. But he did an interview today, and he posted today, and I'll put a link to the video down in the description. But he did a video he was interviewing Cardale Jones. Now, if you remember, Cardale Jones is the tier 1 or the assigned quarterback for the DC Defenders. And so they were kind of talking back and forth, and Pat was asking him, hey, man, what is the XFL? What is this going to be about? What is this football? This whole football reimagined thing. And pretty much they had about a 4-minute conversation. They really didn't get into a whole lot of detail. But what we did kind of hear from Cardale is he kept going back to the game is going to be fast-paced. It's going to be a fast-paced game. It's going to be a game that you're going to see a lot of explosive plays. And that's something that I've just been noticing of late, that they've really been ramping up and really focusing in on. That, their play clock is going to be a lot shorter. They're going to go ahead and it's going to their kickoff's going to be different. You're going to have 3 different options to choose from of things to do for the extra point. We're not kicking extra points. You can go for 1 point at the 2-yard line. You can go for 2 points at the 5 or 3 points at the 10, and their kickoff's going to be different. The ball has to be kicked off, and the player has to get it before they can run, and it's all weird. And actually, I think if you look at my Twitter account, I retweeted a tweet of how, I think it was from the Spring League, of how the XFL is actually going to do their kickoff. It's kind of this weird-looking thing. You got to check that video out. I think I retweeted it, so if you go to my my Twitter account and look at that, I think that you'll see that tweet that I put out there about that. But it's all about fast-paced. And, it's just kind of the whole interview was just how they're really trying to take the game of football and really just reimagine it into the game that everybody wants to see, not your grandfather's football game, right? And so as we kind of look at that idea, and let's kind of hone in on that idea a little bit more, because what also came out today, and make sure I get this guy's name right. So Kevin, I think it's Siefert. I want to make sure I say that right. Kevin Siefert, he's a staff writer for ESPN. The guy did a fantastic job. He wrote an article pretty much giving kind of really an overview of the XFL and what the XFL is going to be. I just thought he wrote a fantastic article that was kind of impartial and just giving the facts and what the XFL has done so far. And I think that that's huge, because if you go through and you put all these things together that we've already talked about, right? So, you're talking about Cardale Jones and his interview with Pat McAfee, and how Pat McAfee is going to be this analyst on the field and doing things that they've never done before, and how they're trying to reimagine football. This article, he dives into that. And first, he starts off with the fact that Oliver Luck has made it very clear, and so has Vince McMahon from the start, that the XFL is not going to be the XFL from 2001. That whole persona they've killed, and they've actually replaced it with this kind of serious, almost approach to football. And it's kind of funny, because the article, like they even come out and they say, well, football is serious. It's a very serious game, and people are passionate about it, and that with it, and it shows that all of the people that they've hired, they're passionate about what they do. You go from all from the interviews that the president of the Dragons, the Seattle Dragons, is doing, or the president of the LA Wildcats, and or the coaches who are going out and doing these meet and greets and going out and giving out all of this fanware. Now, granted, I've just seen the Dallas Renegades give it out, and I'm wondering, if any of the other teams are giving out swag. Hey, if you need somebody, just a shout out to all the teams out there. If you need somebody to check out your swag and need somebody to check it out for you, I am free. I will go ahead and I will take that opportunity every time that you give me. So any of you XFL teams that are watching out there, go ahead, send me a message, and I'll definitely send you my address, and I would love to show off your swag for you, because right now Dallas is the only one that's giving out things and giving the love, and I'd love to see you guys get an opportunity to do that as well. So I'd love to be there for you. So send me a message down in the comment section. But all joking and kidding aside with all of that, they're serious about this stuff. I mean, we've got guys who you could tell they love what they're doing. They're getting a chance and an opportunity to be around a game that they love, and it's not just something where they're just playing around like a kid. They're serious about this stuff, and you can tell they're very meticulous about it. And even the way that the draft was handled, and if you go back and watch the video that I said about the draft, there are people out there that criticized the draft, that it wasn't flashy, it wasn't big, it wasn't any of that. But what it was it was very methodical. It was very thought out. It was done like a business. I mean, the way that they ran it, it was very serious. They were a lot of thought into what went down. It wasn't just for awe and shock and trying to get their name out there. They're really sitting down, and they're really seeing what they've got. And everybody from the president on down in these organizations, these teams, everyone from the top down are taking their job seriously and trying to create the best experience they can, whether it be the coaches and drafting players to put the best product on the football field, or whether it be the presidents and the directors of operations and that, and making sure that they create an on-field experience and an in-stadium experience that people can enjoy, that, and it all revolves around this fast-paced type of offense, and that way. And so I just thought it was beautifully laid out. And then he kind of goes in and transforms into this stuff that we've been talking about, right? Like this football reimagined. And they start off with that, they reference a study that was done that after the Super Bowl's over, there's 40 million people that are wanting more football. That's a huge amount of people. I mean, if you think about it and look at it, a really good rating for a TV show, like does just gangbusters and bonkers and does great, is, you're getting probably somewhere between 5 and 10 million viewers. So when you've got 40 million people that are wanting more football, and you have that big of a pool of people to draw from, I think you're going to be successful. And it's really interesting because they've really honed in on a few things, and these are really, really kind of pillars, as I would say, of what they're trying to build. They're trying to build a fast-paced, good football product on the field, and then they're trying to provide a good-priced, well-done experience for the family. So I'm a family that I have small kids. And so what they're trying to do is, listen, they're trying to make it to where it isn't going to cost me a whole lot of money. They're saying, hey, you can come and go see a game if you're a small family for around $100, be there for 3 hours. Really, when you've got small kids, and, especially young kids, you might not take them to a game. But, when you've got kids who, are elementary school age and stuff, 3 hours is about all you're going to get in an outing, whether it be at the zoo or anywhere else. I mean, about 3 hours and you're done. I mean, usually it's about a morning, and then you can get to about lunchtime, have lunch, and then, your day's about shot. That's about all that you're going to get out of them with that. So to do that and set it up to where that they can have that football experience and really trying to make it a family thing is really neat, is how they're doing. So they're really trying to target that younger family audience with this, which I think is really neat. They also did another study, and I don't know where they got these demographics, but Kevin mentions it in the article, that the average viewer so let me read this, because I think that it's really interesting the way that he puts this at the end of the article, because it's almost like a shot is fired at the AAF and what they kind of did. So, let me read this. He goes, McMahon's $500 million investment is based in part on a McKinsey Global Institute study that suggested that there are 40 million people, which we just discussed about, who crave more football after a Super Bowl, although Luck's background as an NFL and NCAA executive led him toward a traditional approach, which is what we talked about already, and how they've kind of built everything around really good football. Now, here's the cool, interesting part. The XFL's focus on game quality is also backed by data. According to Luck, the average television viewer of the ill-fated AAF was approximately 50 years old, hardly the demographic that would respond to loud buzz or radical changes to the game. So, what they're doing here is they're trying to get that young football fan. They're trying to get somebody who's in their 20s, somebody who's in their 30s, who loves fast-paced offense. They're not trying to get an old school football guy. And for them to look at like an old school football guy, somebody going to be around their age of their 50s with the old methodical, football, the 9-6 score games and the hard fought defense, struggles and things of that nature. The AAF, for what it was, it was a bit of a hot mess, and at times it was hard to watch. Now, granted, they had some good offenses, and there were good things that came out of it. I don't want to necessarily put a bad stain on it, and taint it, but the product speaks for itself. I don't really think that it was the most exciting football to watch. It wasn't must-see TV. And I really think that the XFL is trying to create a game that's fast-paced, that the time is going to go by quicker, but yet you're going to get more explosive plays more frequently, which means things are going to be on the line more. So you might still have what you would see, in college or in, some of these pro games. You still might see like a 35-28 game or a 38-35 game, but because of their running clock and the way the game's going to be shorter, so you're going to see it all within 3 hours as opposed to like a 3.5 to 4 hour window that usually you're going to take to watch a football game. And so they're going to condense it down by an hour to about an hour, and And so you're going to see that much more in an hour less time. So they're trying to really make it that, and really trying to emphasize good football play and that with it. So again, you need to check out the article. I'm going to put a link down in the description because they really go over a lot of neat things. And if you haven't been caught all up on the XFL football yet, this article does a good job of kind of working you down through really the main points of what's happened with the XFL so far. Like I said, kudos to Kevin. He did a really good job with this article, and I think he summed up kind of where we're at today. So, guys, that's pretty much what it is. I know I kind of went a little long tooth with the article, but I was really taken back by the article, and I thought that the article was just fantastic with it. The question, like always, is what do you think? I would love to hear down in the comments section what your thoughts are, what you think about the XFL right now. Are you excited for the supplemental draft? Please give me some good comments down there. I love to have discussion with you guys. You know that I respond, and I love having these conversations back and forth in there. So please leave me some comments. All right. Well, I know that you're busy and I know that I'm busy, so let's get on out of here. You have a good night. Bye.